things going on in Thailand over the last year that I think day trade finally started to get things going. We were talking about how Belmont could now kind of be unleashed and not play under endurance any longer. They could figure things out amongst one another. In tournaments with the new team is not what you want to see, but hopefully somehow to work with these Thai players can make it happen. They're currently down on the southern side, just south of Las Leones, where TD Team and VP seem somewhat entangled.
Yeah, fortunately for both, all the way to the northwest, so TDT kind of in the driver's seat as far as Los Leones is concerned. They can kind of leave whenever they want. Yeah, you start looking at all the teams towards the south. A lot of options here about how you want to rotate in, whether you want to do the southwest side or if you want to go all the way to the north, coming from the northeast. It's a lot of options.
Nixie saw them land here. He's jumping around in the open, shooting for bait? Question mark. I mean, I'm wondering, is he trying to pull them his way and set up some sort of trap? Because his entire team
is on
the far southern side. So, I mean, you don't shoot like this knowing there's another team around you if it's not because you're trying to, like, draw their attention.
Yeah, maybe Peacock, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not sure, because I thought normally you would do that to have them come after you, and then you have a guy holding the crossfire.
It's working. You got Huang is creepy walking just to make sure he hears any footsteps that may be approaching. And meanwhile, Nixie is just making his way. He did that just so he could get across that street for free.
Exactly.
And it worked.
Maybe he's just trying to, bait enough attention that that allows for him to escape and able to do just that. Circle, as we saw before, is up towards the far northwestern. Plenty of, we can call it pretty obvious rotations come to mind as we look at this map. Probably you have the far southern rotation through Val del Mar. You have the up and over in La Cobraria. Are there any other in particular that you would think, I mean, for example, take a look at Pero, far out on the eastern side, not taking into account, of course, E-pickups. How would they go about their play?
I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what you just asked me.
How Petrichor is going to rotate? How is Petrichor going to rotate into this next circle?
Petrichor? Oh, okay.
Without an E-pickup.
Without an E-pickup.
Because that's the easy answer.
I think you take the long north route, right?
Yes,
I think you come in from that Oasis, La Cobraria kind of spot. But the where it starts getting a little bit more complicated is if this circle does kind of favor towards the southwest and it turns into one of those El Pozo field type beats. That's when it gets a little bit concerning. But play around towards whether they want to play in the hills just to the north of El Pozo, obviously a pretty good good shout.
Yeah.
And, you got Ferris on the high ground here. We'll be able to scout a lot about what's going on to the south. So if they do want to make moves, they can kind of have a good idea of what's laid out in front of them. So hopefully for Navi, they can kind of find a way to make things work this time around and get that ball rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, they are in, so to say, home turf territory. They normally get better performances on Miramar, so hope for them with this first circle having come their way that they can make something happen with it, as we are seeing the big migration towards the north. We haven't seen Petrichor in particular make the rotation just yet, but both Freaks, Liquid, and BERAKSI are starting their northern reps. A team that sat here ready and waiting, though, is T5. They looted in and around this area, and while I thought they might opt to go further round in this split,
this is bad news for Team Liquid, obviously. So far, that last game kind of got Liquid going in the right direction, but still, it's only 18 points on the day. And 2 more games left to play. I think they would love to be able to get 30 plus, but yeah, Alo just in the wrong place there. As Rossided will get that one for free.
I feel like once the first shot is fired, once, I believe it was Purdy sat on the other hill, realizes, wait, there's players down here. You say buildings, don't go near any of them. They could be anywhere. Liquid, an unfortunate loss in the early game there. I don't think Elo had any idea that they were going to be around. Yeah, BERAKSI trying to make plays happen as well, but Freaks stopping mid-rotation, saying we're probably not going to be the only ones trying to make this play happen. Let's set up a trap, because again, these trap plays, unless if you get really unlucky and someone just beams you out of a car, or beams you out, as you said, while driving past you, they are the easiest kills you're going to come by in a competitive game of PUBG. If you're 4 guys just waiting for a car to come down the road, it doesn't really get a whole lot simpler than that. So if you can accumulate enough of these points over a 12-game series, that can be the difference maker in whether you make it to the finals or not.
Keep an eye on BERAKSI. I'm curious to see if they get an opportunity to go for that blue chip, get their man back, and get up to full strength.
They did.
It looks like Freaks kind of left them to their own devices here. The Expendables, meanwhile, coming in from that south side, running into a GSW 2-2 split, but it looks like they might get a little bit closer to T1. Ian already set up to maybe get an angle, but looks like TE will avoid most of that for now.
Seems like Floki's under fire as well, having been knocked further north of here, obviously, so won't be tracked on the feet as of right now. As Expendables try to run the gauntlet through the El Poso fields up towards you. You'd imagine El Poso City, but FN are sat here ready and waiting. You'd have to imagine at least they're going to hear the vehicles coming in. Rain has been in trouble all day long, and this is once again not a good start for them.
It is not. I feel like they're safe. I want to say they're safe, but you know, you never know how these things are going to work out.
Nope.
Fluky does get flushed out.
Yep.
So Theraton 5 will be playing with 3 unless they're able to retrieve their man's blue chip. The Expendables, meanwhile, sending it right into the jaws of FN. Americano is kind of by himself. You see Star-Lord and Rex already trying to reposition to give their teammates some support here.
Exactly. They know there's more players around Americano. In the meantime, trying to get back towards his teammates. But how do you get out of this building when the entirety, or let's say the remainder of Expendables, is on your ground floor? Do you throw smoke? Do you jump out? How do you time this to get to safety? You can see Rex and Star-Lord, though, both running over now, trying to assist their teammate.
Looks like he did take out Delwyn. So he did that going for him. And Toyo actually in a pretty decent spot right here to kind of keep track of everything that's going on in the city. And he just needs to be careful that he doesn't over peak and overstay his welcome and get caught, because that is a very easy knock into instant flush type situation that he finds himself in.
Exactly, and should this next circle go south, you can be pretty sure that there's an E-pickup coming up the mountain right above you if you're Emmy. So being on a bit of an island of his own is only gonna be a great place to be for so long. Once, I mean, we're already starting to see this circle shift in, but once the next circle pops, for sure you want to be grouping up with your teammates.
A lot of room on that northern side of this zone as Petrichor Road is winding. 2-5 down to a 3-man. They are just off to their west, and DN Freaks taking up a lot of space between Lacobe and Crater Fields. So if this thing hard shifts to the north, Freaks are going to be laughing. But that still remains to be seen. VP making their way in on the southwest. They're just hugging the wall on the edge of the playable area, trying to make their way past Toyo.
Exactly, Virtus Pro. See out here far west. Where do they stop though? I mean, how far north are they going to be willing to go? Obviously, they're coming in, I say, even a bit earlier than what they normally would. You want to hit that circle or be on the western edge of it right as the new circle pops, so you get that immediate reaction play on where the next circle is going to go. But I think for now, VP is going to be satisfied with sitting here down towards the crossroads, maybe looking to go further north for rotations once the next circle pops.
Good news if you're a T1 fan. It looks like they were able to get Raining back.
Yeah.
So they'll be back up to full strength. And Raining looks like he is going to be able to rejoin his team. TDT, meanwhile, just now making their way past Chumacera. Doesn't look like they're going to go too terribly deep in here. They'll wait and see what the next circle reveals, as they do have full send off to their west, but a pretty good mountain in between them, so they should be safe.
Exactly. 10 seconds to go, or make it 6 for this next circle. So, we're taking a look at the map here. Very few teams on the northern side of this circle compared to the south. Center is hard to rotate. Much difficult terrain you have to maneuver through in this circle, and Circle Center will be playing that for a while. El Poso, not exactly optimal, but phase 2 city commit, some teams are going to have to try and make that play, Paul.
I think there's going to be a number of teams that try to make that play, especially the ones coming in from the north side. You see it more often nowadays, especially with these Pozo field circles, that teams are not adverse to just sending it 4 men into the city and playing their way through that. We'll see how that plays out here as Freaks, Petrichor Road, Navi, Team Liquid already looking like they're skirting there. Just behind Extend's gonna find the wheel for Sparking, and he's gonna find the head of Sparking as well. Team Liquid lose another one.
Yep, Navi trying to set up, and they do so successfully, knowing that this was going to be a funnel of teams trying to come through. And honestly, if they wait around here for a bit longer, T5 might be the next ones to make the same run happen. But, I mean, even with the loss of Sparking, at least they make it to the city. And should Circles continues to go this way, there might be placement points and kills to boot for Purdy and Luke, who now find themselves alone on the east side of Poso.
The BERAKSI They were doing that wrap around to the north side, but now that the circle has gone to Pozo, they've changed their minds. We're going to come back down to the south, try to avoid Petrichor Road after they took out Riz.
I mean, in the last game, we had Liquid being the first south team. By phase 2, they were the furthest north. Now we have Petrichor being the furthest east team, and just like that, they're the furthest west. Last game, that got Liquid into a top 2 situation. I don't think as of right now it's going to be that blessed for Petrichor, but if we get enough western shifts, they might be fine as they're coming in just on the southern side of Alcantara.
Looks like T5 found themselves an E pickup, so this might be them as a 3-man. Taking that E pickup and maybe finding some high ground in El Pozo itself. Other than that, I don't know where you would go at this point, this late. See Ike's left leading the way. A lot of room on that western side to play around.
Exactly. I mean, this is a perfect overview with the map and the in-game as well to see exactly how the lay of the land is. Battlegrounds now, I mean, alongside the rest of T5, they can only be going Pozo. Pozo or Mountain. Mountain, playable, but so